specific. You see, like me, I'm a Gemini. We like black, white.
You see it.
And then we like the grey scale. So you got to cover all bases. If you want to know something, you got to be specific, my guy. Because right about now, you're asking me about me, and I don't know what you're asking.
You see why I don't like Geminis? Anyway, what do you do for work? Tell us what you do, because you work with young people. What do you do specifically? And tell us. We'll start from there.
So I work in an SEM provision. So that's obviously with children that suffer with, I wouldn't say suffer, but have like social emotional difficulties, suffer with things like ADHD, autism, and then I also work as a support worker, so children who are in care. Yeah.
And you do a bit of
pastoral. That's part of my SEM role, so pastoral and behaviour management.
I believe you came out as bisexual. I'm gonna go straight in.
Go for it, Mike.
So, how was it coming out to family?
First of all, how do you know I'm not coming out today? How do you know we didn't ruin a big surprise?
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Huh? You didn't ask me that question, did it?
Gemini by all begins.
Let go. Which 7 personalities? Which one?
It's coming out. I know. Okay, have you come out?
Yes.
You like things so specific.
Drum roll.
What was it like coming out to family? Does your family know? Stop.
Yeah, my family do know.
Yeah?
And yet they know now. With me, I was a bit of a sly one, you know what I mean? So, I don't want to go too deep, but obviously talking about the way that women, let's say we're talking about women, so that portray themselves. Typically you're called stud or a femme. Stud meaning you either draw to the more masculine side, feminine, obviously more feminine. So I would bring girls home who were femme. You know, oh mum, we're just doing eyelash, we're just doing nail in the room, but obviously, boy, it wasn't just doing eyelash and nails in the room, you know. So, so my parents never really kind of blocked on. But then obviously as I started to explore my sexuality and said I can't do with these girly girls because I'm trying to put on my eyebrow, you're trying to put on your eyelash, and we're clashing, and I need a more dominant person. I was like, okay, we're going to the more tomboy stud side. Okay, are you coming home tonight? I said, no, mum, she's dropping me home. Boy, my mum didn't see me for like 3-4 days, didn't hear from me for like 3-4 days, and she was like, she's giving it to you, innit? Just giving you the pat. And I was like,
what? Wait, let's get past that. The pat.
Scissors, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it.
I don't want to know. Okay, go on. I'm listening.
But obviously, mum was like, you two are in something, right? And I was just like, it's a conversation to be had. With me, obviously people would say I'm femme, but then on the other hand, being with certain girls, they're like, you can pull off the look where, you can wear tracksuits and trainers, you can wear whatever, and it's just cool. So me, I've never really been stereotyped, I suppose.
Okay, do you face stereotypes in the sense that, for example, if a guy's come to talk to you and,
oh, sweet,
you know, then it's like, oh, you're bi, so let's have a threesome, or, you know, let's pick up a female or something like that.
This is my problem now. Like, with guys, as soon as you say, oh, I'm bi, they're like, oh my God, swear down. Swear down what? Like, first of all, let me stop you, my friend, because just because I'm bisexual doesn't mean that I'm going to engage in a relationship with you, her, and then we're going to be doing threesomes. It doesn't work like that. I'm very one-sided. I'm selfish. I'm a Gemini. As far as I'm concerned, it's either me and the guy or me and the girl. There's no crossing. I should be enough for you to be like, raw, this is it. Do you understand? Why are we doing? No. Just because I'm bisexual doesn't mean we need to be sharing.
Let's say there's people listening that haven't come out. Or that are thinking of coming out, because it can be very daunting. Everybody knowing what people are going to say, what people are thinking, whether they're going to look down on you, whether they're going to be disappointed. I know Selena was saying earlier that she comes from a Muslim family. Probably one of the hardest people to break it to.
Can I just stop you saying one of the hardest people to break it to? You see, living in a Caribbean household, I wouldn't even say Caribbean, and obviously I don't want to stereotype, even after I say Afro-Caribbean, in that kind of household where a lot of your family grow up on morals of this is right and wrong. There's no grayscale for them. It's like black and white. So it's just as hard. Obviously, my parents are a little bit more westernized, but if I was to go to maybe my great grandma and say, grandma, I like girls, she'll be telling me, we're gonna ship you, we'll put you in the suitcase and ship you back home, and you can learn to unlike girls. Do you understand what I mean? So, and like I said, growing up in either Caribbean, when you listen to the music and how they portray like they're very
First and foremost, you're a black female, so obviously there's a stereotype you face there. Then being bisexual, there's a stereotype you face there. So would you say you've faced any sort of mental health issues or gone into depression or anything along those lines?
Definitely anxiety and depression.
Was this before coming out or after?
I would say I was extremely anxious before coming out, just because I didn't know what other people would say, what other people would think, if they would, like my parents was a big thing, like, am I going to be disowned? And then I think being in a relationship with a woman and the breakdown of the relationship, you think because they're a woman they think similarly to you, but trust me, it doesn't work like that. So that breakdown of that relationship really sent me into a place where I didn't want to be, and I was extremely depressed thereafter.
That's what I was going to ask.
When did you know? At what age?
Oh my good Lord Jesus, probably from like, I'd say probably like 5, when I went to school.
5?
From 5.
Really?
Yeah. You know, like when girls do silly things like, oh man, I feel like you're a jerk. Maybe they didn't, but it was just me. No, but, like, you know, okay, let's say I knew from about 5 in school, I would just kind of look like, ooh, hi there. It's a cheeky boob, or do you know what I mean? Like, double A's, do you know what I mean? That was more like year 6 times. Then when I went to secondary school, and that's when girls used to do silly things like pull up each other's skirts or touch each other's bums. I wasn't doing it for banter. I was doing it because I was like, what yoy? Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, from like 5, I'd say.
When you're coming out to your family, like I'm Jamaican as well, did you not find that they were a little bit more relaxed about it in terms of you saying that you are bisexual? Because I find in my family, I guess my dad is more hardcore, yard, hard body kind of thing. My mum is more like, yeah, cool, you know, like whatever you decide to do, you know. So I think if anyone in our family was bisexual or gay or whatever, it wouldn't really matter, if that makes sense. Be like, okay, well, we knew anyway, and you wouldn't have a conversation about it, and it's dead there. So it's kind of like, you know, do you feel like your parents are more sort of strict in terms of, are they overly religious people, do you find, or they're just set in their ways?
Do you know, I wouldn't even want you lot to come to my house, because she'd be like, what is this? Like, my mum, yes, we have to go to church on a Sunday and praise thy Lord. My dad, we don't eat bacon, we don't eat pork, you know what I mean? Can't be using certain toothpaste around here. And then there's me with 25 million piercings, 25 million tattoos. So it's like, you come into a house and it's a bit crazy. But my dad is more relaxed and my mum's more like very, you know, you should do this, this and this. And when I did tell her, there was a lot of disappointment, because it was like, I want to see you live a normal life. I want to come to your wedding and see you with a man and marriage and have kids. You can still do those things with a woman, essentially. You can still do exactly those same things with a woman. So I would say my family's not, I would have expected them to be a bit more harsh on me because of culturally, but they wasn't as harsh, I would say. Want the full rundown on it?
I
mean, well, I've got about 20 odd in my ears alone, which you can't see, obviously. 3 in my nose, 2 at the sides of my neck, which you can't see, or I don't know. Behind my neck, about 6 or 7 in my mouth.
6 or 7.
have so many questions.
Come, let's go. And the rest we have to just not tell everybody. You know. Oh my good Lord Jesus.
What's better in bed?
Right. Someone asked me this earlier on in the day. They was like, what's the best sex you ever had? Because obviously, you know, I'm a dude, I'm gonna give it to you. Well, let me stop you right there, my friend. Yeah? Because you telling me you're coming with your, I just don't want to be too raw, because I really want to give it to them. But you telling me you've got 9-inch and this and this and this. I need evidence for 1. 2, yeah? Just because you've got 9 inches doesn't mean you know how to work it.
Okay.
3.
Tell them.
You can't just do pat.
I got my horns in. I am ready for this, man.
If you think you're just gonna do pap and then I'm like, yeah, babes, that was a real good session, you're definitely confused. But you know, overly confused. When, for me, having sex with a person is very much a spiritual thing, and like, do you know what I mean? So I could have sex with a guy today and I feel nothing. I could have sex with a guy. Wow, that sounded a bit mad still. With a girl, you have to be sensual. Let's just say that, because you don't have the tools to work with as such. And if you're not using those tools, if you're not using strap-ons, dildos and stuff like that, you need to be, you know, you gotta work with the body. If you're having sex with a guy, ooh, you know, you still need to be sensual. Because for me, I don't know about this. Everybody, I don't know. Some people are on this 2-second thing, like, oh, babes, like, kiss the neck and then you want to slip it in. No, like, let's go. We need to build up. But men, they just look. They sexualize you. Before you open your mouth just to even to put on a little Vaseline, and it's like, whoa. When you go for the metal detector, do you beep at the airport? No, I don't. But it's like, show me what that mouth do. It eats.
What that mouth
it
do.
eats. It drinks water. Do you know what I mean? Every typical no. And it's like, oh, you've got a lot of metal in your mouth. So you're telling me. I'm telling you. Are you sponsoring me for another one? Before you want to be coming and telling me what I can and cannot do. With okay. Should have only asked 25.
Okay, so you were 15 when you had it.
Well, his birthday is in April, mine's in June, so I had him when I was 14 and turned 15 2 months after.
Okay. How did you do it?
Do you know what? How did I do it? This is my question. Let's go back to specifics. What did I do? You talking about the pregnancy or just being a mum in general?
We'll start with the pregnancy because that comes with it.
So, you know, me and my young 14-year-old self, I'm like...
Did you have to leave school?
Let me get there. Let me just do my thing. Let me just, you know, young 14, you know. I'm like, oh, this is just butterflies, man. I'm hungry. 3 months, 4 months. Then I'm like, no, this isn't butterflies. So what we're going to do is, I didn't eat. I was very worried and I didn't feel like I could tell anyone. So I did everything. You know, like bleep test at school?
Yeah.
I was doing that, everything as normal. And it got to the point where I was like, nah, this is a bit mad. Went to my doctor and he was like, my sweetheart, you're 7 months pregnant. I said, well, okay, then somebody's going to jail today. Somebody's going hell maybe because, boy. And I just had to tell my mum. And
did you have to leave? How were they with you?
Alright, so obviously, you know, these people, everything is money. So insurance purposes, you're not covered to be on site. So your ass got to leave. So I went to another provision. It was obviously like a mother and baby, whatever. 2 months I was there for, continued my education as normal. Then I had my son and they said, what would you like to do? Would you like to stay with us at this provision or continue going back to school? I said, no, I'm going back to school. There's no reason for me to be here. Like, I'm very intelligent. I'm naive, but I'm very intelligent. Book-wise, I know what I'm doing. So I was like, nope. When my son was 6 weeks and I went back to school and that was that. GCSEs and yeah.
Young mothers or anyone facing that situation, because there are a lot of, I think teenage pregnancy has gone through the roof.
My first thing is, okay, you've had a baby or your plan, me it was never a plan, but you're having a baby at such and such age, don't be a statistic. That was the main thing for me. I was like, no, I don't want to be a statistic. So at 14 I had my son, but it was like, okay, what can I still do with my life? What opportunities are still available to me? Just because this has happened doesn't mean my life is going to be at a standstill. So just be as forthcoming as you can. Again, like, don't think that the whole world is against you. Speak to someone if you're, because for dads as well, like, okay, mum, I was naughty, I was dipping things where I shouldn't have dipped them, and now this is the, do you know what I mean, this is the consequence. So speak to your parents. Are a lot more open, and do you know what I mean, I would just say go to your parents. That's what I'd say. Let anybody tell you, do you know what I mean, it's wrong, or oh, how can you do that? You know within your heart what you feel and what you think, so run with that and everything will be good. And another thing, just going back to being a young mum, don't let anybody tell you that you're going to be a statistic, or don't let yourself be a statistic. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because you've had a child young doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean you can't make something of yourself. So use the platforms around you to excel and be the best that you possibly can be, because you're now in, you know, you have responsibility for a young life, and that young life is beautiful.